gonna click the button. Boom! We're live.
There's so many explosions.
A day of peace.
Hi everyone. How's it going?
Yeah, me?
So, you guys who are watching may notice a slight change in our decor.
Where?
We're on roll 20.
Point to it.
The lamp, right there.
Actually, oh god, I moved the map. I didn't mean to move the map.
My world!
Earthquake.
So I had to format my computer last weekend, and Windows was a little naughty thing. Anyway, I lost all my backups. I saved everything on a hard drive that is literally labeled my backup hard drive, and Windows formatted that. I lost everything. All my campaigns, all the rest of my Assassin's Creed 2 Let's Play that never got uploaded. Just stuff. All kinds of stuff. And I wasn't going to go redo all that in Fantasy Grounds. So we're back on roll 20. And we're going to stay here. Because that's how I roll. So luckily, my charming, adoring players very quickly moved all their stuff back to roll 20 for me, which I very much appreciate. And we're going to pick up like nothing ever happened or changed, except we're in roll 20 now.
We never talk about it ever again.
Never again.
Oh, that's right. Elora and I decided that we were going to just say Fantasy Grounds got eaten by the false Hydra, so from now on, that's the canon I'm sticking to.
Yes.
We've always been on
Fantasy
20,
Grounds?
right?
What?
Who's that?
What Fantasy Grounds?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who?
We can resurrect Fantasy Grounds only if we learn to let it go.
Screw it. Let it die.
So, would anyone like to give a recap for last session? And before you say yes, I must be honest and fair, because all of my players have worked so hard to move the character sheets over, you all get inspiration.
What the fuck?
Sweet! What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh.
Where do
Because
I
you
even
had-
put this?
You had short notice. So I
About
appreciate the
proficiency
effort.
bonus.
I appreciate all the work that you all went through, and all the work that I have gone through in the past 2 days of holy crap moving everything
we can't
over.
give you inspiration.
I gave myself inspiration, so God help you in your next fight.
Oh god,
To be
please.
quite honest, I can, try and recap things. It's not going to be pretty, because for once, I really don't remember that much.
Sure, I'm all for it.
So we started the session with Kaitana and Kip having the interview in which two people who were desperately trying to be all professional, be very much not professional together, and Kaitana got the job in the end, and she gets paid 5 gold a week, a month? Something along those lines.
If I recall correctly, it's a week.
And she gets to go on regular dates with Kip,
That's
as
not...
she called it.
No, wait. Yes, that's true. As she called it.
Yes.
As she called it. I put in
Yes.
that asterisk. The asterisk symbol.
Some things just don't translate from Drow, so that could be very
Yeah,
common for her
like
to
we
say
don't
it's a
have,
date.
like in Undercommon, we don't actually have a word for love.
Though I will denote
Just
for the
snooze now.
viewers at large,
Just-
that though is one thing that would translate in an account. So just putting that out there. Just making that known. There are
Just-
some things that don't translate. That's not one of them.
We have so many words for torture. Not many for...
I got scared for a second. I thought you said twerking.
Yes.
Very
Alright, we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
Also, Selena watched the entire interview.
Oh yeah, Celine also watched these two idiots try to be professional while being very professional in the corner. And Mika was snickering in the corner.
Sexual tension, some might say.
I don't know how many people would say that.
I'm not entirely
I would say
certain
that.
how sexual it is when two people are just floundering around for words. But, you know,
It
if
just
that's
seemed
your
like
kink,
a
go
conversation
for it.
between two very incompetent individuals who probably, should
You know. Okay. So, moving on. Kai got the job. Everyone else was doing something else. Mostly just waiting around for Kai. Because she got lost for a little bit, so then we had to wait for Kai a little bit longer. Then we went to the temple, talked with the dragons a little bit. The guards do not seem to be fondly thinking of the dragons because they are big and terrifying creatures, which is a little racist. We went inside the temple, met Fran, the front desk lady.
Our new companion.
Yes, our new adoptive grandma, basically, who probably knows of Mike Wazowski at some point in her life.
And she's been places, and she's done things.
Oh, she was a total badass in her younger days, and she's still a badass. She's just no longer young. Kaitana and Orit stayed to talk with her because this is a character. They wanted to grill her for questions. Then the rest of the party went to go talk to a enlightened rat whose name I do not remember.
Any.
Any. E-N-I.
Any, the rat. And she told Doma, yeah, I could totally, bring back your brother if you pay me, 5,000 gold, bring me a diamond worth 1,000 gold, and also tell me to my face why you think I should bring back your brother, and also, tell me, that you're okay with death, and that if you're not gonna get your brother, that you're gonna move on.
Yep, she has to learn to let him go before she can get him back.
So, Doma got the harsh truth. And then they left to go talk with, Tyburn's, benefactor. Put it lightly. Because definitely not exactly your goddess, because it's not like you went, hey goddess, can I have a thing? It's more like goddess dumped magic
Goddess
on top
adopted
of you.
Ty.
Goddess adopted you.
She's basically a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Tyburn, I choose
know
you.
what? You know what? Yes.
And played a game of cards in which the winner got to ask a question and have to get a truthful answer from the person who lost, in which poor Tyburn was very much losing that game up into a certain point where then I think Tyburn rolled really well at the end, so she finally got an answer from
Just
the actual
as the
goddess.
Yep.
Yeah, just as the goddess actually possessed the man's body to tell her, yeah, I chose you because I thought it would be funny. Ta-ta! And then left.
I have high hopes for you to humor me. Goodbye.
And then Nishu told off the goddess going, no, you get back here, which she didn't, so poo-poo on goddess for reneging on her deal.
I believe Ashu has proclaimed that she is going to achieve deity status just to go have a talk to her.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And that is more or less it. There's small things here and there, but that is pretty much the majority.
Correct. Yeah. We ended the session with you guys kind of regrouping back in the front hall of the Temple of the Gods and making your way out. So, thank you very much. You already
Can
gave
I get
yourselves
2 inspirations?
If I recall
No.
correctly, we were deciding to have the session start at the inn. Like we already got our stuff and ended up at the inn.
Well, first of all, I didn't hear anything about that.
That was at the end of last session. We said
But
that
you
on
guys
the
have
air.
other things to do. Didn't you ever have other things to do? You can go to the inn if you want, but I thought you guys had other things to do.
We have to go to the merchant for Celine, but I remember you specifically saying that it was getting very late.
Yes, it was getting very late. Kaitana wanted to sleep. A bunch of us wanted to head over to the inn.
That sounds more familiar.
Yes.
Yes, it was starting to get very late, so most of the shops at the docks probably would have been closing by now.
Mm-hmm.
So we
All right.
decided to save it for tomorrow.
So, you guys make your way back to the Mundane Inn. I don't have the Mundane Inn prepared for you guys. That's fine. We don't need it or
sorry.
anything. No. I mean, I just don't have the map. That's fine.
That's
It has
okay.
to be downloaded.
Yeah. You guys
Move
don't
4
need
spaces
the
up and
map.
1 to the right.
It'll be fine. As you reach the Mundane Inn, you see that, of course, the lights are dark inside as it's starting to get dimmer at night and a bit chilly. But the door is cracked open a bit. And you guys make your way inside, and you find Darian sitting behind the bar, like his chair kind of leaned back against the wall. And as you walk in, he looks up and he goes, Oh, well, hello there. Been a couple of days. I didn't rightly expect to see you again. Hello.
Hello. How does the inn look?
Still a bit of a mess. It's clear that not a lot's been done since you guys left. I mean, it's only been a day or two. But there's still some of the broken furniture. Most of the broken furniture is gone, but the room still looks a little sparse. The chairs are still not in order. There's a fine layer of dust starting to coat the tables and stuff. And he kind of scratches his beard and goes, "Oh yeah, well, if you be wanting to spend the night, of course I've got no problem with that. I can even fire up the stove and get something cooking for you. It's not like I'm having much business these days."
Kai
Food
kind of
sounds
glances around.
terrific.
Yes, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Aye, of course. And he'll go to the kitchen and he'll start turning on the stove, and you kind of just hear him talking from the kitchen. Let's hope you've all been well. Not a lot going on here. Just been working towards getting the old girl back up and running. You know how it is, how it be.
What old girl?
Oh, the inn, the Mundane Inn.
The inn's alive?
It's a figure of speech.
I know that.
There's like a long pause. Well, no, not per se, but you know, my dad always said that running a business is like having a mistress. Treat her right, she won't leave you, unless, of course, some firehounds appear up inside her, and then, well, I suppose you can't account for that.
I think that's an STI. Sorry, that's Mackenzie.
Hi, what did you...
You're not wrong. Yes, Kai.
I was just gonna point out, as soon as he walks him back, she kind of gives Orit a look, and she pulls off her gloves and then starts cleaning up. She place is a mess. She's gonna clean up.
Gotcha.
Hey, sweet.
Mhm.
How long does postage take in Ardenfell?
It really depends. You're talking the
Okay.
Pony Express to get from where you're trying to send it. A couple weeks, maybe.
Alright, so definitely no response from Eric yet.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So Ty will tell Dorian?
Yes.
Okay, it's
It's more of a long A, Darian.
Darian. Okay. She'll go up to him and will be like, I sent a letter to a friend who might be able to help with the inn, but I probably won't get a response for a couple weeks.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. Well, actually, he kind of comes out, like, wiping his hands on his apron. Well, maybe it's good that you came back. I've been thinking, it seems that we were brought together through unfortunate events, and, of course, I do apologize for that. But, you do seem to be people of means, and you get things done, and, well, I was needing some help getting this girl up and running again, and I was wondering if you'd be interested in perhaps a form of partnership. You help me get the inn back up and running, and in return, I'd be more than happy to share some of her profits with you, as it were.
What would you expect of me to help get it up and running?
Well, and he kind of like rubs his head. Well, there's a lot of ways that you could help, of course.
As Kai's already helping in the background.
Right. Of course, some capital would be needed. We'd be needing some guild representatives' licenses again, and a bit of furniture and restocking and things of that nature. We'll also need to hire staff, of course. We can't run the bar without it. And, some form of, shall we say, advertising or a way to let people know that we're open and ready for business. So lots of ways that really could be helped.
I'll see what I can get done while we're still here.
Aye, I'd appreciate it, lass, definitely. And he kind of pulls out a ledger. So, and he kind of pulls a chair up and sits down and puts on like these small like spectacles that are made from wood and glass, and he goes, well, I did the numbers, and to get the girl back in shape, to really get the mundane inn up and running so that business is booming, so to speak, I'd need about 1,000 gold. Now, of course, half of that I have in my own savings. I can cover with no issue. So if you could help with that, of course, it would be take me maybe 12 days or so to get the old girl up and running, as I said. And of course, I could really use some help in hiring good help because, let's be honest, I'm not exactly the best judge of character these days.
As you're trusting me.
He shakes his head. Oh, no, I didn't mean you at all. No, yet lass. You could have killed me for, well, what I was forced to do to you, and you've done nothing but show me kindness.
What did he do to her? I don't remember now.
He lied to you all about coming here. Norith used him, but from what he told you, he didn't have a choice. But that's what he says.
Mm-hmm. I forgot that happened, and to be honest, I probably would have as well.
Nice. Very nice.
So Ty just looks confused and goes, okay, sure.
So I'll pull out a character for a minute and kind of explain to you guys. You can get the inn back up and running if you choose to. And if you want to, and if you help in that, then you can actually start earning gold from the profits of the tavern. Of course, you might also suffer losses. It all just kind of depends. There's some random factors to that. Also, the how well you guys, how much you invest into it can matter as well. It is something that you are more than happy to pass on or to actually invest in, either through money or time or however you'd like. You can help hire individuals. You can foot 500 gold to get the inn back up and running. You can find ways to attempt to get the word out to get business booming. And there's actually mechanics here that, depending on how well things go, you could start earning money from it on a what's the word I'm looking? Continuous basis.
I am already employed. Sorry.
I'm not looking for a second job. Thank you. Dolma puts a gold down on the counter and says, if you start to tap flowing, I'll see what inspiration hits me for a jingle.
How much did you put on the counter?
A gold.
A gold.
No, this is for him to give her booze so that she can start working on a song.
Best. 1 gold. You're 1/500th of the way there. I was just like, yeah, it's like, hey, you're 1/500th of the way there.
1,000th, because he needs 1,000 gold.
No, he has 500. He only needs 500 from you guys.
Oh, well,
it's fine. Okay. Anyways, so yes.
Mm-hmm. He goes, entertainment is always a necessity, and I'm sure that you're a fine bard. I don't recall if I've ever heard you play, but he holds up his hands. But I'm sure you are one of the best in the land.
She just stares at him, finger still on top of the gold piece. Just kind of waiting for him to start pouring her a drink.
You should hear her on bagpipes.
I don't believe I've ever heard of bagpipes. And he gets a tankard. He's starting to film it up with foam, beer.
Ty pulls out her bagpipe.
No, not at this time of night.
Turns around, he sees them, and he's like, that definitely do be a bag with pipes attached to it.
It looks absolutely ridiculous. I love it.
It is! That's why they're fun!
You know how to play it?
Yeah!
Dolma starts to answer and then winces and just actually, you know what? Let me see how well she keeps it together. Oh yeah, she just kind of is behind Ty, just lips pressed into a line, just
Well, you should show us sometime.
I can show you now if you want.
Not tonight, Ty.
But they're perfect for night.
If you want the rest of the neighborhood at your throat.
Fine.
I feel like I do be getting conflicting information from you two.
Dolma just stares at Ty and makes her way to the opposite end of the bar, settles down and then just gestures if you really want to.
Alright! Ty plays bagpipes! Perfect!
Oh boy.
You can see, Ty takes a big breath and Dolma just very casually plugs her ears.
So
Ty plays with such confidence.
an attempt was made with gusto and confidence, and you play for a good 30 seconds or so, and Darian just stands there a mug in hand. And when it's over, he's still just standing there looking at you.
Oh, that was terrible.
Yeah, Dolma, kind of reaches over, snaps next to his ear just to make sure he didn't go deaf.
Aye, that do be a bag with pipes connected to it.
Ty is grinning and just nodding her head. She had a great time.
I I feel, however, that it might be best if on opening night, at least, we stick to the more traditional instruments. Not that you weren't a fine player with it, he says with a deception of 13.
Dolma doesn't even need to roll insight on that bullshit.
No one
No,
does.
you don't.
He rolled a 20. I don't think that would have mattered.
How's about I get you a mug of ale instead?
Yeah, that sounds great.
He gives you one. Can't play
At least he's
bagpipes
trying.
if you're drinking.
Nope. Well,
Kai's gonna nudge Orit and kind of say, "We should get one of those."
I don't think I'd ever be good at that. No, Tyburn has this well covered.
Just
we already have 2 bagpipes in this party.
What? Wait, where's the other bagpipe?
Elora.
Nowhere.
Oh,
Ashu quickly puts it back in her bag.
Kai,
Dueling
Let's do
bagpipes.
Kai shrugs at Orit and continues cleaning.
Besides, I already know how to play dulcimer, and I'm already struggling at that.
Alright, if that is something you guys as a group want to partake in, you can make a steady a bit of gold every 10 day, depending on how well the business does. You put as much or little effort into it as you wish. It is completely up to you. It is not something that's mandatory. It is something that, depending on what you want to do, will roleplay, but you don't necessarily have to. Just make it clear to me that you want to invest or do something of that nature. But, of course, if you want to, say, help hire, then obviously that would be something that we would have to do in roleplay. But, that said, for the rest of the evening, he cooks you guys a fine meal, and even remembers to bring mostly roasted vegetables for Arthur.
Yes, thank you.
And gives you all your normal rooms.
I check on my horse. Been weeks.
It's dead. No.
Fair.
No. Your horse. I forget their name. I don't have their notes.
Clipper.
Clipper. Thank you. Clipper is fine. Well fed. Bored, but well fed.
Poor horsey.
Dolma starts playing. I don't know. What kind of tune are you playing, Dolma?
Certain lullaby.
No. Dad said don't do that, so she's not gonna do that until she knows
She's playing what Ty tried to play, but good.
Yes. You're trying to insult me, but yes.
Yeah, so she essentially, like, after she gets her first drink, she's gonna start working on just, like, well, she's not actually gonna start working on anything right away. Right now, she's just showing off at this point, just like, oh, you've never seen me play? Well, let me just, strum up a little ditty. And she just fucking goes off, and she's, like, pulling, like, the minor illusions that do, like, chords on top of, like, the notes that she's playing so that she's harmonizing with the illusion and things like that.
Oh, someone's pulling a Shala up in here.
Pretty much. She's just like, she's showing off. If there was a stage, then she would be in the middle of the spotlight.
Dolma's sitting over there dancing on the table. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd you come from? Cotton Eye Joe. No,
it would be closer to like a sea shanty.
You do a magnificent job. You hit every note. Your minor illusions are on point. And it sounds as if there is a sea shanty going. She's singing to the sea shanty, and the minor illusion is making it sound like there's a soft chorus that's probably like a baritone that kind of accompanies her. And it's one of the songs that you learned with your time with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And what
it doesn't sound like the crew. It sounds way better.
And how fortuitous, because halfway, or probably about 2/3 of the way through your song, you all start to hear a bad accompaniment making its way towards the tavern. And towards the end of the song, your mother bursts in through the door going, I knew it was you! Fuck. Been looking all over for you.
She, like, continues with, like, the last chord and, like, she pauses, takes a breath, and then gives a bow to Darian, and then looks over at her mother. Well, if you had waited 10 seconds, you would have seen me where you were staying with papers.
Galdon staggers up to Orit and gives them a huge hug and says, I always knew you were good with the sea shanties. You never said you liked them, but I knew you did.
To Orit?
To Orit?
To Orit.
Kai raises an eyebrow at Orit, like, did she kiss you too?
And Niran follows very quietly from behind, still in the clothes he wore in jail, and he goes, Galdon, that's not your daughter. And Galdon will hold Orit at arm's length, look him over, like squint at you. It's very clear she's very inebriated. Look back at Noreen. You sure? And Noreen's just got his head in his hands. And he looks apologetically at Dolma and he says, we were told that there was an inn around here that you might be at, and she decided to go visit every single one.
I hadn't noticed. And Dolma at this point is just kind of like standing there, like, violin at her side, the bow just kind of dangling off at this angle of just sass. Like,
And Galdon kind of looks around at that voice and then starts staggering her way towards you. I ain't forgot Fulma yet, which means either the thing is dead or my mind's far stronger. And she, like, taps her head.
It's dead, Mama.
Oh. Well, that's good, too. And she, like, just collapses in a seat at one of the tables.
Dolma's hand, like, shoots out, just like, oh, be gentle. Okay, there's only so many years left. Right.
Barkeep! A mug of ale all around.
Dolma just looks over at Dorian, just does like the cutting motion of no, don't give her any more.
And she will then motion at Orit to come sit down.
Ron, he points over to Dolma. Oh, what? Ron, what?
She motions even harder for you to come sit down.
Kai will kind of nudge Orit.
Yeah, he hangs his head and walks over.
And as you sit down, she says in a whisper that everyone can hear, I knew you're prettier than she is.
Dolma just rolls her eyes.
Oh,
Puts her violin away.
he like bats his eyes. Oh, am I really pretty?
She shrugs. I mean, like a glass pitcher, but yeah, sure, pretty.
Yeah, I'll fucking take it.
Oh, and she kind of like leans back and like she like hangs her head looking up the ceiling and dangles her arms. She goes, "Hell's so fragile. That's why your father and I broke up, don't you know?" And Niran kind of like walks over to the chair and sits down and goes, "Oh, is that the excuse today?" And Dolma, you would know that you've heard probably as many excuses for why they're not together as there are waves in the ocean.
Oh, absolutely. Every time it changes.
And she looks at Arit and goes, not enough meat on the bone. Nothing to sink teeth into.
Mama, alright, that's what are you doing here? Last
Looking
time
for
I
you.
checked, you were a wanted woman. Don't you dare. And she just points a finger.
And Nareen goes, we were
Niren.
looking for you. Niren, sorry. Niren looks at you and goes, we were looking for you. We got out and we're going to try and help. It seems that we were too late.
Yeah, by several hours. And she'll pull out the fucking papers, the waiver and everything, and made these completely pointless. And she slaps them down in front of Goldon.
I'm sorry. I completely forgot
Just
how to
call him
pronounce his name. Niren, yes. Nier, who sees the papers with his elf eyes, sees what they are.
Elf eyes.
Yes, and his head just hits the table like, oh no. Galdon, on the other hand, like untips her chair, slaps a hand on the table, bends in really close, squints her eyes, and she goes, "Ha ha! Didn't need those."
Obviously.
Oh, what? They're not sore, are they? All my crew did is knock a few of them on the head and
blow a hole in the house, in the fort.
I like to think that we improved it by adding a little sunlight in there. And she waves her hand. It's of no consequence. We'll be gone in the morning anyway. This town is starting to ride on me. So, she slams a tankard on the table that's already been downed as Darian has just kind of quietly been handing out tankards to everyone. She looks around and she goes, so I need to be thanking you all, I think, for doing right by my boy, Foma. And she'll raise the empty tankard up to all of you and go, thank you. You have always will be welcome on my ship if ever you need transport.
Thank you.
As long as you don't mind some excitement along the way.
I'm sorry.
I need more ale.
I'm good. I'm good.
So, did you find that fool brother of yours?
Dolma will find a solid chair and pull it over to the table. And she sits down next to her mother. And she will pull out the gauntlet with the hand in it. Put it down on the table.
And while you're doing that, Niren's actually getting up and going to each of you. And he kind of starts with whoever's closest. He'll go to probably a shoe. And he'll tap his tankard to yours and he'll say, look, I know she's loud. But my sentiments are the same. You are obviously friends of my daughter, and you have done us a great service. Thank you.
She gives a polite and silent nod as she slightly raises her tankard up.
And he will continue on. He'll go to Arthur, and he'll say that in common.
Arthur's gonna look confused, then realize something, get up and give him a hug, because he still owes him a hug.
Aww.
He'll look surprised for a second, but then he'll smile, and he seems very cheerful, and nods to you, and will, like, ruffle your hair a little bit, and he'll say, "Oh, right. Oh," and he starts, like, talking in Elvish. "Right, you, Common, I'm sorry. It's been a busy few days. Thank you for everything."
Yeah, it's okay. I owed you that hug from the prison.
He nods, a little unsure. Not sure if, like, he doesn't remember or understand, or just like, yeah, I didn't expect that. But he seems cheerful enough. And then he makes his way to Kai, and like bumps his tankard against yours, and kind of in the same way goes, "And thank you for helping my daughter, and for doing right by my son. As loud and as boisterous as she is, my thanks is no less heartfelt."
Thank you. She'll drink.
He'll drink as well. And he'll move on to Ty, and he'll say, "It's been too long, Ty."
We've met?
Well, I've seen you. I don't
What?
think you've exactly seen me.
What?
And he'll lower his voice and go, "I like to check in on my daughter from time to time."
Fucking perception check, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, goddamn!
Oh,
Your mother's too loud.
You're busy laying a gauntlet down in front of your mom.
Oh,
And he kind of like leans against the wall next to Ty, and he goes, "She has a habit of getting into trouble, takes after her mom, but I think you have a calming effect on her." And he rolls his eyes. "Yes, I know, before you say anything, I know, but I think you do."
She has the brain cell.
He literally ruffles your hair and says, "You give yourself far too little credit." And then moves on.
She's pouting like a brat.
And while all that's happening, Fulma looks at the gauntlet.
Fulma?
I'm sorry, not Fulma.
yes, Fulma.
What is this?
The hand animates.
I'm back from the dead.
That's it.
That
I
was
give up.
crazy.
you're playing
And,
Giancarlo.
Playing Vincarlo from now on. A man in a black shirt and a rapier walks in. No. So she looks at it. She goes, "Huh. It's all that's left of them. All right, good. So go to the Temple of the Gods and get them razzed. Risen. You know what I mean." What?
She just like waves her hand dismissively. "I went there. The process will cost 5,000, along with a diamond that's worth 1,000, and she pauses and then shakes her head. "I'll just need some time to collect it."
What does that mean?
It
Wait,
costs money to get someone resurrected, Mom.
didn't you, like, save the town or something? She, like, scratches her head. Cost money. And she kind of, like, leans back in her chair and she goes, "Who'd you speak to, anyway?"
The cleric.
Uh-huh. Name. I need a name.
She squints, and at this point, just gonna roll an insight.
Go ahead, roll an insight.
Is it gonna roll? 13.
She's very drunk.
She's very drunk, but also Is there something nefarious?
Not that you can tell. She's just staring at you.
Any.
Right. Any race in particular? Probably like Asmir, right?
No.
She just keeps looking at you.
I have it covered, Mom.
Just looking at you. Kai, yes, I know, I see you. Yes, Kai.
While this is going on, Kai's gonna slip outside, and then transform herself, or disguise herself, I should say, as what she would think a well-renowned cleric would look like. Maybe someone she saw from the temple that she could mimic the appearance.
Sure.
And then once that's done, she's gonna bust through the door and say, "Hello, everyone! It is I, Annie!" I would like to thank you so much for stopping by earlier.
Hang on a second. What's that? Okay. What's your spell DC?
My spell DC?
Hang on, I got it here.
Yeah, like roll 20's different.
Yeah, it's in spells. It's 13. Okay. Niren's head just kind of gently lowers back into his hands. Caldron, though, stands up and goes, "Just the person I was looking for," and starts drawing her scimitar.
Hello!
Mom, don't you dare!
I'm doing Jeff Goldblum hands, by the way, just so you guys can get the full image.
I need...
I would like to roll for initiative.
I was literally about to say, I need everyone to roll for initiative, please.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let that happen. Sorry.
Where's the initiative?
Oh, I can't target my token.
Oh,
Alright.
20.14.
Right. Hang on.
No.
Maybe
I
should
put
get
that.
tokens.
I put that on purpose. The 0.14 is for tiebreakers, so I rolled a 20.
Hang on.
Yeah, I also have the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys need to put your pictures on your things.
I put mine.
I have
Yeah,
a picture.
A shoe and
I
Ori.
don't know how to.
I
really
will
don't
do it
know.
for you.
Yeah.
Don't you worry, I got you.
I control this one.
I need your tokens. Do you guys have your tokens?
This is a new computer. I don't have almost
I also have a
anything.
new computer.
We will fix it in post then.
That's right. We'll just fix it in post. Don't worry about it, guys.
Hello, it is I, a shoe.
How do I select my token again?
Just click
Just
on
click
it.
it.
Yeah.
I am!
Oh, you might... Squee may have not allowed...
Oh wait, I was
you
using the wrong
access-
thing.
Okay, there you go. Boopity boppity.
Boopity boppity.
No, let me be 7.
Okay. We need an Orit, and we need a
Yeah,
Kai.
I rolled a 5, and I think I did
Yeah.
it before the tokens were done.
Gotcha. Go ahead and click on your token and roll again. We'll just change it.
Which one's mine?
This one.
Go away from me. This one's mine.
This one.
No!
Social distancing, damn it!
No, stop!
And same, Criana. Just go ahead and click on your token and roll again, and I'll change it to a 7.
What do you mean click on my token?
Click on your token.
Your
On the
image.
map.
Stop making out you two. What a battle.
Click on,
I don't
click on your
have-
token.
This
I
one.
Click on
can't,
your token, and then hit the initiative button.
I
Okay, hold on.
can't click on my token.
What? Why not? Hang on. Let me check.
Okay, my
It's
issue with
assigned
that
to you.
Hey, I got a 7 again.
I-
Sweet.
Okay,
I
cool.
made it easy.
Yeah, that did make it easy. Yeah, it's assigned to you. You should most certainly be able to click on your token and move it around.
I can click on this one.
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's the one. That's the one.
Okay.
This one's mine. Leave it alone.
Can't you tell the difference?
Oh, are you a cleric too?
No, I can't.
One's a purple shadow with a white background, and the other one's
This
a
is
white
going
background
swimmingly.
with a purple shadow.
Oh, yes.
Obviously.
Right. Oh, yes. Oh, fair.
I must say, we had a webinar earlier this week, and the guy who ran the webinar had the most lovely British accent ever. It was amazing. It was an hour and a half, and would have been the most boring thing in the world, but I was enraptured because it was amazing.
All
right.
Is that how I... Oh.
Arthur!
Yes?
She has drawn a scimitar and has drunkenly stepped towards this cleric that walked in the room and called herself Annie. Which, by the way, unless you spend your action trying to discern it, as far as you know, a cleric walked into the room and called themselves Annie.
I don't care who they are, but I want to not have violence in this tavern. So he is going to stand in between the two of them. No weapons drawn, just have his flask full of water. It's just water that he was drinking. Put out his hand as in a stopping motion and start speaking really quickly in Draconic. Confuse the fuck out of her. Should I roll, like, intimidation?
Are you trying to intimidate her? By all means.
I'm trying to confuse, so, like, would that be persuasion or something?
Confuse... Yeah, I think that would still be intimidation.
Okay. Either way, it's still just a +1, so...
Right. Gotcha.
16! Guys, please! Stop moving your fucking tokens around!
I'm trying to track him, it's so hard!
Give me a second here.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
She does not look confused at all. Her glazed eyes are laser focused on Kai.
Okay.
She also +4. What's your AC, Arthur?
That's gonna hit. Just straight up.
She straight up shoves you 5 feet to the left and walks right past you. One-handed. Strength that you've seen before.
I don't get a strength save or anything like that?
Well, if she's trying to shove you... actually, wait, yeah, you might be right. Let me check, hang on.
Yeah, because I could have sworn shove...
Is a strength... It's,
Yeah, it would be a strength save.
Actually, yeah.
Or contested athletics.
It would be athletics. So roll athletics versus her athletics.
Alright.
So hers is 21.
Well,
roll.
Let's see how we do this.
Gotcha. I was thinking it was like a hit and a shove, but you're right. It's a contested athletics.
Let's go! 18, so... Yeah, you got this.
Yeah. She just with like her left hand, just not harshly, not meanly, almost politely, but just shoves you aside and walks straight.
Let out a yipe.
Walks straight towards Kai and goes, "Now," and points the scimitar at her. "You're gonna resurrect my son, or I'm about to resurrect the inside of your gizzard." She's very drunk. A shoe!
Oh boy! My turn.
Uh-huh.
Jeez. Alright. I'm going to ready in action. If I see this lady about to swing, she's gonna get an earful of me.
Okay, nice. Gotcha. Ready to action if she tries to swing.
Yeah, ready to action if looking like that she's going to swing. Yeah.
Understood. Perfect. If that scimitar flinches. Gotcha. Dolma. Control your mother.
Kiss my Christ. I've been trying, Squee. she... Oh, God. She jumps up. The chair just clatters to the ground that she was sitting at, and she goes, "Mother, stop!"
Ooh, roll me a persuasion check.
Can it be with advantage because that's her baby girl?
No, she's drunk.
You could use your inspiration.
She thought you were a reet. Oh my god.
Daughter
That's
anger.
her baby girl.
That's right.
So Dolma stands up and impassionately says, "Mother, stop!" And instantly, Kai, you see best of all, like, Galdon's face changes, her eyes widen, and her face almost looks like a sad puppy, and she just lowers her scimitar and goes, "Alright, you don't have to shout. I'm just trying to get my son back." And she, like, just walks back to her chair, sheathes her scimitar, and sits down. Buries her face in her tankard.
Are we out of initiative?
Yeah, we're out of initiative.
Kai will go. Kai will go. Oh, it's all right. I know this is a very emotional situation. I just wanted to check in to make sure everything was going all right.
You're not the cleric, though.
Oh, hang on 1 second.
Remember, Ty, yes, and...
Yes, Ed almost got you hurt.
Niren, like, looks to like, around the room with, like, a hand out, because he looks at it and he goes, "What's Kai doing?"
Better me than a mouse, Ty!
Jesus Christ.
Like,
What does that mean?
Dolma, you have a plus sign?
Yeah, so Dolma looks over, and I guess I'll roll to see if she can see through it or something. That would be an intelligence check, or...
Yes, it'd be investigation. Also, Arthur, you covered in water?
Yeah, she shoved him away.
Yeah, and he had a tankard full of water.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So.
Oh well, no. But see, the thing is, it wasn't like a shove, like sloshy, jerky shove. It was like, excuse me, like someone opening a sliding door. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's probably a little bit on you, but it was not a jerky motion. It was just almost polite, like, and walked right past you.
Fine.
But gotcha.
He's still excusing himself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Understood. Yep. Definitely Kai.
Yeah, so she just shakes her head at Kai and says, "I appreciate the effort," but... And she looks over at her mom, and she kind of rounds around to behind her, or behind and off to the side, and she just gives Gul'dan a hug around the shoulders and buries her face in her back and says, "I know. I want him back too, and I'm going to get him back this. You have to have faith in me, okay?"
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. If she's passed out, I'm gonna be pissed. Oh my god.
She's very quiet.
She's totally passed out. She just...
Well, on that note, I will be going now. By the way, you all are not very helpful when it comes to improv. Kai will snap and go back to her normal form.
Hey, my turn on the initiative didn't come up yet.
I appreciate you, Orit. You see the big picture.
Yes, the big meta picture.
The fourth wheel, right there. Fourth wheel, fuck.
Niren kind of sits down and puts a hand on Dolma's arm and says, "We know. Look, is it alright if we spend the night here? We'll both be going in the morning. She's got her ship to go to, and I need to get far away from here. Probably the opposite direction of wherever she goes."
Suppose that is more up to Darian.
He's like just been looking at this entire thing, and he's like, "What? Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. There's plenty of room. For 2 gold." And Niren kind of looks at Dolma and kind of shrugs apologetically. We kind of didn't have any.
Dolma just waves her hand at him, just like, shh, just don't say anymore. Otherwise I'm gonna go that again. She like goes over and slaps down 2 gold.
Much appreciated, much appreciated. And Niren will help, I'm guessing, Dolma and whoever else get Galdon to her bed.
Please, for the love of God, Dolma only has a 10 strength.
Yes, my 14th strength will help you.
I've got 14 strength.
13!
Shame that the strong guy went upstairs.
I know, right? The strong guy excused himself.
Oh, actually, no, hold on. Kai will go, well, I will go get Arthur. She'll climb up the stairs. And then knock on the door.
Yeah?
Arthur, may I come in?
Sure. He's still clothed, just trying to get dry.
Oh, okay. I thought this was going to be a funny moment.
Oh, you want it to be a funny moment?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
It might be kind of awkward if she's your future sister-in-law.
Yeah, well.
Anyway. Kai walks in and says, Arthur, we need your strength. Oh my goodness, you have gotten wet.
Yes.
Are you alright?
Yes.
Can we use your strength?
Yes.
Kai will hold out her hand for Arthur.
Alright, I'll take the hand.
She'll
Show
walk him
me.
down the stairs.
So Arthur, just roll an athletics with advantage.
Athletics advantage.
Yeah.
Alright.
As you help Galdon get up the stairs. She is a strong, muscly orc.
Alright, I'm gonna
Yeah,
use 2
keep it
side
up.
points and
Oh my god!
bump that up to a 22.
You sweep her off her feet, carry her up the stairs, and put her in a bed.
He's gonna
Arthur.
tuck her in.
Arthur, as you're putting her down, she kind of opens one eye at you and looks at you, and she goes, must be dreaming. Maybe I'll use you for my next... and falls back asleep.
And this is in common, so he doesn't understand.
I'm assuming she's going to make another nice human pyramid.
Yeah.
Like the gymnastic people.
She's gonna make a cake, and she's gonna use his face for inspiration. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that was going.
Yeah, I don't know where that was going either, but you know what? Sure. That's fine.
Well, that was weird.
That's kind of an awkward moment.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone collectively downstairs, even though they did not see anything. Did something just feel awkward just now?
Right?
My entire life.
He's going to
I
make
think
sure...
that was also Mackenzie.
He's gonna make sure she has a blanket and all of that, and pat her on the head, then close the door. Go take a bath. Time.
Anything else you guys would like to do this evening?
You know what? I guess a very quick question. Did we divvy up the gold from
So I haven't gone and checked what the amounts were we donated to the church yet.
Alright.
I
Then
forgot to do that today.
I'll just use what I have now. Ashu will go over and actually put down inventory 200 gold into a sack and put that down.
Okay. Is this for the inn or for the...
This is for the inn.
Oh. Alright. And Darian would look at it and go, "Oi, much obliged, miss. Much obliged."
Yes, sorry I don't entirely have the amount that you need. This should at least start things up. There should be more once we divvy up what we've earned from our ventures.
Oi, thank you. The kindness I do not deserve.
Kai will drop in 100 gold.
Oh, alright.
So, one of those plus signs earlier is going to come into play here. You're just gonna find a bag of gold on one of the tables near where Arthur was sitting, and it's got 500 gold in there.
Oh, damn it! No, I take 100 gold back! No!
No, it's too late.
No!
I've already eaten it.
You guys can give it back to him if you want, or whatever.
Sorry, it's just taking the
it's
800
fine.
gold, going...
Fine.
Sorry, just pockets the extra 300, going, yes, I certainly need that. No. I'll tell you guys what. Obviously, it's clear that you guys do want to invest, so I will let you as players determine how much goes from who.
Yeah.
And you guys can do that on your own. That's perfectly fine. And I'll explain how that works. Every 10 day, and we have a calendar. Oh, we don't have a calendar. I'll have to make a calendar.
We can make a Google Calendar.
We'll make a calendar. Actually, no, what we should do is I'll just make it like a map that we can go to and take a look at any time. But every 10 day, I will roll a 1d100 plus 10. And depending on how much has been invested or effort has been made, etc., you will get that much gold every 10 day. So it's not something that's going to make you rich, but it is a steady income.
I just want to help the poor innkeeper.
Yeah, he is falling on some hard times, that's for sure.
Yeah. The way I see it out of character, like, most of you guys have some kind of skill that could help. I don't really have a skill that could help run the fucking tavern. Like, I keep
walk around shirtless and drawing all the ladies.
Basically
Turn
that.
this into like a maid cafe.
Oh my god. Give Arthur a bow tie.
He'd work as a great bouncer. Dolma's right.
Yeah.
Someone starts causing a mess, he pumps out side point, whoosh, takes him outside.
That could work too. I don't mind splitting it. I was just throwing the 500 out there because, I mean, I don't know what else I could do. Bouncer works, though.
Where did you get 500 from?
Because he's a rich boy.
Because I barely spent anything.
He hasn't spent any money.
Yeah.
You know, he has bought, like,
he got
nothing.
it all from his mom.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch, and then we split, and, like, the cloak, the extra poncho, all of that stuff. You guys didn't tell me you needed repayment, so...
No, they were gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Arthur has, like, spent 0 gold.
Yeah.
So, with that, anything else you guys would like to do that night?
Kiss my girlfriend?
Yeah, that's definitely doable.
Not allowed.
I ship it.
Fulma disapproves.
Fulma's dead, so...
Good, you finally acknowledge
You accepted it!
Oh god, no, that's me. So... There is one more thing. Before he trots off to bed, Dolma would speak with her father, give him the actual rundown of what happened with Annie and everything, and she would explain explain that she's going to have to somehow let him go before she can get him back.
He'll think about that. And he'll go, well, I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to get over someone. I mean, it's not easy. I can make a suggestion, though.
Just shrugs. I'll take what I can get.
Write a eulogy or song. Write something that he kind of shrugs, helps you let him go. Obviously, you don't have to forget about him, but make peace with what he was. I think maybe that's what she's trying to say.
He thinks about it for a little bit and then nods. And then after a moment, she would go, there's also the performance we promised.
He nods. Yes, that is true. I need to be going soon, but tomorrow morning?
She nods and kind of looks off in the direction of the harbor, kind of gets a small smile on her face. Almost tempted to ask Mom to throw a party on the boat.
Do you value your friends? He kind of looks at you. I'm not sure you want them to be at a party on her boat.
That's exactly why I haven't asked.
He nods. He, rolls a shoulder uncomfortably. Well, if we're going to do a performance tomorrow, I suppose we better get started, or we're not going to get any sleep at all. Come with me. Show me what you have so far. Let's work on it.
Yeah. And she will, Actually, no, the sheets are with him. Or were with him.
That's true, actually. Yeah, you did leave them with him. So basically, you're not going to get a lot of sleep. Well, do this. Roll me a performance check. Let's see how quickly you guys are able to compose. With advantage, your father's helping.
Okay.
Let's see if Dolma gets sleep tonight.
25.
Yeah, alright. You're able to get it finished in a couple hours and still get enough sleep for a long rest.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. You did most of the legwork anyway.
Yeah.
So, we are going to pull out, narratively speaking here, and start our infamous time skip. And what that means is I'm not going to go into, what did you guys do in the morning? Did you eat breakfast? Who wakes up first? That's fun to do sometimes, but at this moment, we're going to play things more loosely and go by events that are planned. Obviously, Dolma, you have an event planned for Spirit. Obviously, you guys want to go talk to the merchant. There's other things that other players want to do as well. For this time skip, I'm obviously not going to be going day by day. So what we're going to do is let's go by events. And they don't necessarily have to be in order. So the way I'm planning on doing this is I would like to get from every player. Sorry, I'm having trouble collecting my thoughts at the moment. I give up. I'm done. Piff, DM for me.
Okay. All right, everyone. So a dragon that comes down and breathes fire on everyone. But it's not like one of those good fires, it's a bad one, so roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative to see who burns faster.
Me! Alright!
No, I kind of want to get from each player what your goals are for the immediate, what scene you want to do next. And then once we know what everyone wants to do, I'll kind of figure out the order from there. So for the next couple of days, and again, Dolma, obviously your scene will be at the appropriate time But like I said, so that we understand how this month is going to work, what are the immediate goals and plans for each player? So I'll just go down the list I see here. Kai, what are your goals or intents for the next few days?
Well, I'm not sure what our coffee date is with Fran.
That won't be for a week. Oh,
okay.
Fran, that's actually, that's a few days down the road, so that would count, yeah.
Okay, so Fran and basically anything to do with her new job is like the big things that I can think of. But
gotcha. New job won't be yet, but there's an important coffee date with Fran. Gotcha. Ori, what about you?
He would mostly want to sell off some of the stuff that he has been hoarding, like all of those wooden figurines that he's been making.
Mm-hmm.
And he would like to enlist the help of anyone who knows merchants around this area better than he does.
Oh boy. That's
Gotcha.
me.
Gotcha. All right. Ty, what about you?
Ty will be trying her freaking hardest to figure out how cleric shit works. My initial plan was gonna help actually like physically rebuilding the bar while waiting for the letter back from Eric. And we'll probably be following people around like a lost puppy.
Understood. Okay. Okay. Don't worry, I'm smiling for no reason. Dolma, obviously, the present for Spirit. Anything else for the first few days?
Yes. So she actually wanted to work on a sort of not quite a jingle, but maybe like essentially she wants to create a song that's like a signature for the tavern. Like, essentially, when you enter a specific area in a game and it has its own theme song, like, she wants to do that kind of thing. Something that people will associate with the bar that's like, oh yeah, I want to listen to that song.
James Bond theme.
Well, on that one, let's handle real quick. Just roll me a performance check.
Oh, so many performances.
I know, right? It's like you're a bard or something.
It's giving me fucking flashbacks to choir. Just like, all right, time to roll for performance. Ah, shit.
Flea Market, Montgomery. It's just like a mini mall. Something like that.
My hot dog has a first name.
Yeah, pretty much.
American.
TAVERN tavern.
You could do it. Can she enlist her father?
No, because your father is leaving immediately after the performance. He's a wanted man. He needs to go.
Well, maybe he should have fucking thought about that. No.
Don't you talk back to your parents.
I think they need it.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a performance check for me.
Performance 14. It's not amazing.
It's not amazing, but it's not bad. You are over the next few days able to come up with something that is catchy. Definitely. Certainly not your best work, but again, you're making a jingle. You probably never expected this to be. You're not framing this and putting it on, display for posterity. It's catchy. It'll stick in people's minds, and it's pleasant, and that's exactly what you needed.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Hey God, there's one other thing that I wanted to do. Shit. What? What was it? Right. Aside from that, she'll also be helping around the bar to just generally assist with maintenance.
Gotcha.
She's not really a hands-on person, but she knows what looks nice.
Gotcha. All right. Arthur, what are your plans for the next few days?
Well, he wants to spend some money for the first time. Hey, so let's figure out how the split's gonna work eventually. Anyways, he's going to.
I'll rewatch it once we're done.
Yeah. He's gonna commission a few things. I already sent you a list of what he wants to commission, like have somebody, a seamstress, actually sew it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to want to talk to Kai and Orit about that thing that I talked to them about. Yes, becoming or making an alter ego. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was about murdering them. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, no, not yet.
That's not until the end of the campaign.
Right?
Yeah.
I was Hydra all along. Anyways,
Hail Hydra.
Yeah. He's gonna focus on that, and the other big thing that he wants to do is, after a couple of days, he's gonna get bored and want to try and wander around, try and find Maggie, because he wants somebody to spar with.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Perfect.
those are the big three things.
Oh, perfect. Those will be easily to handle. A shoe.
Well, just for the first few nights, it looks like she's going to be very much in help mode. So she'll most likely go out shopping for a loose leaf and basically like a blank book, as well as helping with the bar, helping with or statue selling, probably also like reconnect with a few shops, and hopefully this is a very odd item and I'm not quite sure if this would be readily available, but I have been lugging around a lot of books, and I would like to spend maybe a little bit of time when going around to shops trying to find... The item that I have in my head is some sort of like magical folding bookshelf. Something to hold books, and pretty much only books, or some loose leaf or whatever.
Bless ya.
I'm sorry.
So like a bag of holding, but only for books kind of thing.
Books or book-like things, yeah.
Gotcha.
Book adjacent.
Book adjacent. Understood. Gotcha. Okay. So let's do it this way. For those of you who seek to spend money, commission things, or to sell your things, let's have you go meet that merchant for Celine first, just in case you want to do it that way or need to go find something else, right? Like, what's the point of making you search for a merchant just to send you to a merchant? But first things first, let us handle two things. Kai.
Yeah.
You also, well, actually, no. I need everyone else but Kai to roll me a perception check, please.
Uh-oh.
May I forgot to add one person into helpline. Tally.
Oh, to teach him reading.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
I guess Arthur with reading too. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So much teaching.
Here we go.
You're just such a good teacher.
Plus zeros to all of that now.
That's a good question. Let's take a look at your character sheet. Character sheet. It's because your wisdom is a 10, your constitution's an 11.
Perception?
Perception is a wisdom.
Perception. Your
But
perception.
I definitely do not have 0 in every single skill, bro.
That is very true. Your perception should be at the very least +2. I don't know why it's doing that. We'll take a look.
It was not like that like half an hour ago.
Alright, we'll figure it out. Roll20 has been a bit funky lately. Like, it hasn't been putting my inspirations where they need to be. Okay, so, Dolma. You find, or hear, or maybe you wake up and you, at some point in, probably you'll say the third or fourth day into this, you see Kai leave the tavern, and she does not return for several hours, and when she does return, she looks a bit frustrated. And Criana, that is something you and I will handle out of session, as we spoke earlier.
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. But I think it's safe to say that she returns frustrated.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's that. Next up, Arthur.
Yeah, what up?
You want to get bracers commissioned to hold a materia slot. That is going to be the cost of the bracers, depending on what kind of quality bracers you want. Plus 300, is it? Hang on, it is plus 300 gold to make them materia. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because to convert a... actually, they're armor, not weapons. Well, they're considered weapons, right?
Yeah, they're considered weapons for weapon materia.
So it's the weapon cost plus 300 gold to make it a tier 1 materia item.
It? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind.
However, the sheepskin black onesie, that will be done by a seamstress. That will only cost you 10 gold to do custom. It will take 2 weeks, though, as that is a complex item.
Yeah, completely fine.
The dragon scales, you are just on your basis. We'll hold off on that one because we'll hold off on that one.
Yeah.
Acting all mysterious, like. With that, let us skip to.
What about the earring?
Oh, that one was simple. That was easy. That cost you 5 silver. Easy peasy.
Okay, fantastic.
You did that at Steam and Steel.
All right, fantastic.
Give me a second here. As I... uno momento, por favor. I can't find it all of a sudden. Avi. No, Avi is the one that passed, unfortunately. Imbric. Makes it for you. It's no problem at all. It's 5 silver. It's easy for him to do.
Okay, sweet. So now you guys, after that, will see Arthur wearing the necklace that we got from the Emerald Enclave on his ear as an earring.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's neat.
Yeah.
Also, a shoe. I can cover this real quick. Your lessons with Tally. Go ahead and roll me a... What did we usually use? It was persuasion, right? Like how well you are at teaching him? Yeah. So let's do persuasion. And then he will also... So roll me 2. Nice.
Second persuasion?
Yeah, second one as well. Wow, very nice.
I destroy his mind.
Wow. So... After the fight with the Hydra, Tally is having trouble staying focused. He seems to teeter-totter between being very proud of his accomplishments and also terrified of what he went through, right? But, Ashu, you've seen this before, and you're very, very good at teaching, and despite his difficulties paying attention, you are able to make very good progress. But it's very clear that it's far more on the efforts of the teacher than it is on the student, because he rolled 2 4s.
I'll keep that in mind in future sessions, and maybe gear them more towards something that he has more focus on. Understood. But he is making progress. He knows his alphabet now, and can tell the difference between celestial vowels and consonants. So certain definite progress is being made. Cool.
Let's go ahead and do that for Arthur. I'm not gonna. Yeah, actually, I'd like you to also roll. Arthur, for you, it would be just straight up intelligence checks, and a shoe for you again. It would be persuasions.
Okay.
How many?
2.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's fine. You are not Tally, so the DC is slightly lower for you. You are able to make headway as well.
Sweet.
Basically, the DC is 15 for both of you together. You have to add up to 15. If you do, you've made good progress.
Ah, sweet.
Do that 10 times, and you will be better at common.
Yes, sweet. Thank you.
Got it. To the point where I would say not native speaker, but you understand everything except complex words or people who speak too fast, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you've made 2. Well done. Next, so we're going to jump to the morning after. Dolma, was there anything in particular you wanted to roleplay, or did you want me to kind of describe how it goes?
I did want to try and persuade Niran to let Embrick listen to the song as well, specifically because he lost his husband and he can't remember him.
You wouldn't have any trouble persuading him for that.
Awesome.
You know your father's a bleeding heart. He tries not to show it, but if your toughness and harshness came from your mom, then your delicate side most certainly came from Niran.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't really need to role play like a bunch of the details, but just she wants to essentially she's just gonna be pouring her fucking heart into this performance.
Gotcha. Does anyone come with him? Does anyone go see the performance for Spirit?
I mean, everyone was invited.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone goes. You guys go to Steam and Steel, and we'll say this is the same time when Arthur, you get your earring done, right?
Sweet.
And you are able to. First things first, you find Tally there as well, as it seems Spirit and Tally have become fast friends. And Tally spends a lot of time over there hanging out and trying to help her with her inventions and doing a terrible job of it. But you kind of catch them at a good time. Emmerich grumbles a bit, but Spirit kind of drags him by the arm into a chair. And you two play the song. However, I do note that your father makes sure that the doors are closed. The blinds are shuttered. And that everything is inside, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would start the performance with a flourish and would say, to all of you gathered at this very private but special performance, I must beg your pardon. The song that you're about to hear is very dear and near to me and my people, and I beg that you never reproduce it or play it for your own sake. This song is meant for you, and you alone. And he looks at Spirit and Emmerich when he says it, but it's clear he's talking to everyone in the room. Dolma, roll me a performance with advantage, please. Okay. You and your father perform the rendition of the song that you built together, and it is magical. Every note hits perfectly. Your father, of course, I mean, you expect no less. He's a bumbling fool sometimes, but he is an absolute savant when it comes to music. But you're able to keep up with him. And that almost surprises yourself a little bit because you've never been able to keep up with him, right? Your music, your violin is stellar, but generally, at least from your point of view, compared to your dad, it always feels like you're a new beginner. But this time, maybe it's the emotion that you put into it. Maybe it's everything you've been through lately. You pour your soul into that performance and you keep pace, and it is beautiful. To everyone else, the song they play, the song you heard is sad and yet somehow pleasant. It gives you a sense of forlonging, like something's been lost, but you don't know what. It makes you feel a little sad inside, but not in a bad way. Almost like remembering something you loved as a child that you don't have anymore, but the memories of it are fond. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Spirit watches with eyes shining Her tears roll down her face a little bit, but she looks so happy. Imric stares at it passively. But by the end of the song, you hear little sizzling sounds on his face. And when the song is over, he kind of sits there for a long time and he says, I know that song. I don't know how, but I know that song. And he'll look up. Thank you. I don't have much to offer, but if you ever need anything, thank you. And he just kind of nods and awkwardly stumbles away.
Dolma nods after him, and she will actually take the shattered earrings and kind of hold them out to Spirit. They broke there at the end, but you did very well.
Oh, they worked. Oh, good. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. Oh, well, I'm sorry they broke, but I mean, they worked. And thank you, Dolma. That was lovely.
She nods, and she actually holds out her arms to Spirit for a hug.
And Spirit gives you one. And then you feel Tally wrap around your leg because he's not going to be left out.
Oh my god.
Seems like we're having a whole hug party. Arthur hugs them all.
She did not see that coming. I almost described it myself.
Group hug.
You could have described it yourself.
Arthur.
Yeah? What up?
If you still choose to get those bracers made, they will only cost you 250 gold.
Sweet.
Yay!
Mm-hmm.
Also, I completely forgot there's another thing that I need to buy, and that's that sending stone. I forgot to put it down.
Right, well, that's from the merchant. You guys will go meet the merchant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're going to be doing that later.
Alright.
And with that, your father kind of nods and he goes, well, I hate to leave soon, but kind of need to. Gotta, appointments to keep. He winks at Dolma and gives his bows and then, takes his leave of Steam and Steel and starts heading northwards towards the city gate.
Before he leaves, Dolma is going to slip him 50 gold and say, try and keep out of jail, please.
Oh, right. No, absolutely. No magic missiles ever again. Right. Definitely. And he'll give you a hug. Take care of yourself.
I will.
And he nods. I need everyone to roll me a perception check, please. So many perception checks tonight.
Wow, golly gee.
Okay, so I had a screenshot of what my skills were in Fantasy Grounds. This is supposed to have a +4. Doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, boy. All right.
I'm the perception boy.
Kai and Ashu. You all watch, and her father, Niran, heads off north towards the gate. And then you guys kind of continue doing what you're doing, and at some point, you catch a glimpse of a high elf sneaking his way back down south, past you and beyond you.
Dumbass.
Like back into town? Or towards the port?
Towards the port.
I mean, the port is south.
Yup.
But who can say?
Dumbass.
Wait, is this dad or is this actor?
Dad.
It's Dad.
Okay.
So yeah, Ashu would actually go, I'd rather not get in the middle of this family business, but believe I just saw your dad head towards the port.
Can I have advantage on that perception now?
Sure. No, you didn't see anything.
Her head whips around. She cranes her neck, squints a little bit.
Oh yes,
You're
I saw
not-
him as well.
I didn't see anything.
You sure?
Yeah.
Thanks for a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fairly, yes. I would have to agree with a shoe. Your father's very distinctive. I never forget a face.
Sighs, runs a hand over her face. I don't. We don't have time for this. Just shakes her head, kind of waves dismissively off in the direction that you pointed out. Whatever, he's a grown man.
This is correct.
It would be very awkward if he wasn't.
Her eyes, but she smiles a little bit. Yeah. She's
All
not
right.
gonna track him down.
She's what?
She's not gonna bother tracking him down. He's gonna make his own dumbass mistakes.
And your parents quite separately leave Averton.
Definitely.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
quite separately. Mm-hmm.
Quite separately.
Yeah, quite separate.
Yeah. Good. Okay, I'm glad we're all in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I'd like to move on to a specific coffee date with Fran.
Yay!
Who would like to come to this coffee date? Because obviously Orit and Kai, but anyone is invited, I assume. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Fran.
Fran was
Terrible
the front desk lady at the Temple of the Gods that actually used to be an adventurer in her younger days.
Oh, that lady.
Yeah.
Well, I would not decline.
Okay. Arthur, Dolma, Ty?
Sure.
Okay, so not Dolma. What about Ty?
Probably not.
Gotcha. Okay. So the four of you make your way, and you meet Fran in the nicer part of town at just like a nice little tavern that has an outside. It's more of a cafe, really. Has outside tables, and when you all get there, Fran's already there, sitting at the table. Her feet don't quite touch the ground, but she's sitting there, hands on her hips, and she goes, "Oh, you made it! Great! I'm so happy. Please have a seat."
It's so good to see you, Fran. It feels like it's been nearly a day.
Oh, it's been several, dear.
Oh. Kai will sit down next to Fran.
And as you all sit down, a barmaid comes up and takes your orders. And as she walks away, Fran reaches out from under a chair and puts a wrapped cloth on the table in front of you.
I assume this is your proof?
Yes, I told you I met Drow down there and that I had proof. This came off the cloak of one of them, a female.
Sure, has become much more attentive of this.
Yeah. This came off the cloak of one of them, or off the belt of one of them, a female.
Kai's gonna grab it and examine it.
It's a bundle about 2 feet in length. It's wrapped up in a blanket. It seems kind of hefty, maybe 2-3 pounds.
So she'll unwrap it.
You unwrap it, and inside what you see is a handle that would look like the handle of a whip. And from that handle sprouts 3 dead snakes. Their bodies lay on the table. Their mouths are pointed and full of fangs. They look very nasty. They are quite dead, though. The particular drow in question tried to use that to kill me.
Hey, Squee.
Mm-hmm.
Can I roll animal handling to see if I recognize snakes?
Yes, you roll animal handling. Ashu, roll me a knowledge religion. And Kai,
Do like a memory check? I don't know.
that's exactly what I was gonna have you do a wisdom check with advantage.
Oh yeah, or nature, but
How do you do a wisdom check and roll 20? Oh, I got it.
Just click on the wisdom.
Okay. Where is he? Okay. Okay.
You have to click on the word wisdom.
There you go. All right.
That works too.
Ashu, do you have any books on religions?
Oh boy. Let me pull up this other thing.
Yeah, sorry, I don't remember if you do or not.
Let's see. Dishes. Culture of a few places. There was yeah, I think I got like one weird one that was like the. Oh no, that's an ancient. I think there was like a Underdark journal
got a
that
journal,
I got.
yeah.
Oh, that's right, you did.
Traveling
Yeah.
to Underdark with mission.
That would count.
pages.
Roll with advantage.
Alright.
I had to think for a second if that would count, and I think it would.
Alright.
So first off, oh boy, Glass, you've never seen any snakes like this ever. Like, you can tell they're snakes, but they are jet black with red eyes. You've never seen a snake like that.
He's probably hardly ever seen snakes given up north. It's really cold.
Ashu, nothing sparks your memory about this device. You've never heard of one or seen one. Kai, you suddenly get a flash in your memory, a very old memory, of a drow, a female warrior, or maybe a priest. It's hard to say. She wears robes, and she is cracking a whip. Except it's not a whip. She's holding a handle, and from that handle sprouts 3 live snakes, and she cracks the whip at you from your point of view, and all 3 snakes lash out at you and bite you, and the pain is intense, as if the venom they're injecting into you is magical. It is vicious, and the look on her face is one of pure chaotic rage.
Arthur
You
had
saw
a
Arthur?
plus.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes,
but-
After this is done, sorry.
Oh,
I have a
okay.
thing after
okay.
you're done describing.
Gotcha.
Kai kind of tilts her head, staring at it for a little while longer, and then looks to Fran. How long ago was this?
Oh, about 30 years ago, give or take.
I see.
Do you know what this is?
No. It doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
This is a weapon wielded by high priestesses of the goddess Loth, spider goddess. A deity that I'm not very fond of. She is the embodiment of chaos. Those that please her and are considered clerics of her can sometimes wield these weapons. You must be in her favor, or the snakes will bite you instead.
Interesting.
She nods. Is a bit of history. Most people have discounted it over the years, but I tend to believe it, given what I've seen, that the Drow once worshipped Loth, or at least part of them did.
I can neither confirm nor deny that statement. But I thank you for bringing this. This is quite interesting.
She nods. I think so. It's one of my most valued treasures. She was a difficult opponent.
Out of curiosity, did the snakes die once your opponent passed away?
Oh no, they died once I killed them.
I see.
One of them got a hold of me, but my blade did enough work. And she kind of holds it up and shows that there's like seams on the snakes that have been sewn together. So obviously there's been work that's been done, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's clear that like there's sword slashes and gashes on them. I was going to say I was going to give Arthur a chance. You did put a plus some time ago. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that was just the thing. As she's holding it, he's going to just try and poop it on the nose and recoil back.
Gotcha. It's a real snake, but it's a real dead snake.
Okay.
Kai's gonna look to Fran. So how did you avoid being poisoned by this thing?
She looks at her. I didn't. It was very painful. But I don't think this weapon is intended to kill. It's intended to hurt, to torture, to paralyze with pain.
You are more impressive by the second, Fran.
She nods as if like you told her that it was not raining outside.
And where exactly in the Underdark did you meet this woman? Is there anything in particular or just some random spot?
Well, there's a place down below that I'm sure you've probably never heard of called the Silken Roads. It is an area of the Underdark that is infested with spiders and webs. We were down there looking for, I forget, something of importance. We encountered them there. I guess they didn't like intruders.
Hardly anyone does.
She shrugs.
And how many drow did you see?
Dozens. We fell 6 of them before we managed to escape, but we were hounded halfway to the surface. There must have been dozens. And given the power, the strength, and the equipment they had, not to mention their provisions, I guarantee you they didn't come all the way from the tundra. No, my young drow. It is far more likely that the rumors are true, that a part of your people still live down below.
And that is interesting.
She
That's
nods.
concerning, that's what it is.
She nods again, like you guys are just telling her the weather.
You seem like you seem like you've been through a lot. Well weathered. Would you so happen to, she ruffles around in the pack, be part of the hunt?
No, that's a game for young gnomes. I am not a part of the hunt, but I've seen a few things, and I've worked at the Temple of the Gods for over 15 years, so when it comes to religions, you learn a thing or two.
Huh.
But I'm flattered that you think I'd be worth it. My traveling days are over.
What, if you don't mind me asking, why did you go traveling?
And she kind of looks off forlorn. At first, love. I was head over heels for a man. He was an adventurer. Swept me off my feet. I came following him. Swear that we'd be together forever. I was a fool. But in time, the adventuring life grew on me. There's so many things out there to see, so many things to do, and as sad as it is, so many people that need help.
Well, thank you for telling us your tale.
She nods and puts a hand over yours. And one of the things I have learned is that you are not one of the people who attacked us. I am sorry that you are treated as such.
There's a mix of emotions on her face as then she becomes back to her neutral mug. And she goes, "Thank you for considering."
She nods. And then just starts sipping her coffee.
I think we should put to a vote as a group when we should implement Fran as our next NPC companion. Because I don't know about you, but she is the bomb.
If we ever
To the
need
Underdark.
if we need a front desk person for the inn, can we just hire her?
Oh my god. Yes.
Oh my god. Yeah, we should see if she wants to job at the inn.
Guys, she already works 5 days at the church.
She doesn't need to work there anymore if she's working at the inn. Maybe we could set her up. Wait, no, she's married. Never mind. I was going to say set her up with the innkeep, but she's already married. So
Yeah.
that wouldn't work.
Weren't you hearing? She was a fool to think her love lasts forever. He's dead.
No.
The
That was
first
love.
one.
That was her first love. That was
Yeah.
not her
The second love is also dead.
Oh my
She's
God.
old.
It's only a matter of
Guys.
time before it dies.
I did
Love
tell
is
Pip
just
to take
dead.
over.
She had 16 lovers. All of them died within 2 years.
She's a Black Widow.
It's her snakes.
Heard of snakes in the rose garden, but
I mean, you'd have to beat her salary, but I mean,
How much could they really pay her? Let's be honest. Let's just
Could
put it in
be.
our notes. We'll come back to it.
yeah. Anything else with Fran, or do you guys just enjoy a lovely afternoon?
Lovely
Enjoy a
afternoon.
lovely afternoon, asking her more questions about her adventuring days and generally what she's up to nowadays.
Gotcha. While you guys are having your coffee with Fran, back over at the tavern, Ty, as you mentioned, you've been helping set up the bar and get things ready. And at some point, Darian will come up to you and go, "All right, young miss, time we begin. Come on."
begin what?
Why, interviewing, of course. I've got 3 candidates coming in.
Oh, you want me there?
Aye, you've been helping, and I need the help.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing.
He nods. Give me a second. I need to borrow Dolma in the secret room real quick.
No, God, no.
Where's the secret room?
No.
Oh, there it is. All right, I'll be right back.
No. I was last year.
I mean, yeah.
Right?
Shoot, yeah. Me?
So, I had KK Slider come to my town today, and he played a song. Oh, never mind. I guess we're back.
Okay, we're back. Dolma, you're writing a song, so you'd probably be around, yes?
Yep, she's just kind of at one of the tables. She's plucking at the strings of her violin, trying to get out a melody, probably not making much progress because she's literally writing a song about her dead brother. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's sad. that's just like, aw. Yeah. So you both sit at a table, and Darian sits next to you and kind of folds his hands in front of him. And he goes very loudly, "All right, first one, come on in." And in comes a skinny but tall elf, looks like a wood elf, male. He has a long pointed nose, very angular features even for an elf. He's dressed in casual clothes, but it looks like casual clothes that have been like ironed, right? Like the sleeves are rolled up. It looks neat and tidy. It's just not. He's obviously doesn't have tons of money, but he prepared for the interview. Mm-hmm. He sits down. Yes. Hello. Yes. Thank you for the interview. Well, what's your name, lad? Yes, my name is my name is Sylvan. I'm sorry, what? Sylvan? My name's Sylvan.
Sylvan.
Yeah. He nods at you vigorously. Yes, that's my name. Oi. What position were you applying for? I was applying for the server position. I'd like to serve the alcohol, please. And he nods and then looks over at Ty and goes, he like whispers, "I'm not really good at asking the questions. Maybe it's your part."
Want to hear bagpipes?
Do you know how to pick locks? No. Do you have experience?
I'm a farmer. I have experience with the planting of the cabbages.
How much do you know about alcohol?
Oh, I know that it affects the capillaries and it makes people act differently, and that it apparently has a very, very powerful aftertaste. Yes.
Do you know the difference between vodka and rum?
Rum is drunken traditionally by pirates.
Mm-hmm. All right. Sure. Okay.
I know that I don't have a lot of experience, but I am very good with people, and I have good people skills, and I think that I am really good at balancing a tray with my hands and with mugs on it, and I could demonstrate. I've been practicing if you'd like to see.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And like Darian will get a tray with mugs, and he will. He holds it. It's a little tipsy, but he gets it. And the whole time he's saying stuff. Come on, Sylvan, you can do this. No, Sylvan, okay, it's good. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. It's good. I did it.
You're doing it. Yes.
I'm doing it. Yes.
He's like just standing there still with the trays. Lola like raises a hand. Would you mind giving me one of those mugs? He just gives him a bright smile.
Yes. Absolutely. It's a test. A test. Yes, absolutely. And he like walks over to you and like shuffles over and starts to give you one, and then pauses, and then goes for the other one. And goes, I'm sorry, I don't remember which one was yours.
I didn't order one.
Oh, I'm sorry. That'll be He looks at Darian. Money, please. She
just like smiles up at him, like bats her eyelashes, and then kind of like leans around him to look over at Darian and Ty, and she's trying to convey with her eyes, "Don't do it. Don't hire him."
Ty just leans over and whispers, "I think I'll be in trouble if you hire him."
Not so much you'll be in trouble, just like, this is a bad idea.
I mean, that usually results in Ty making a bad decision that gets her in trouble.
That's fair.
And Darian nods his head and he goes, "All right, lad, all right. Well done. Go ahead and set the tray down over there, and we'll be sure to get back in touch with you." "Oh, thank you, Eddie. Appreciate this as often." He kind of puts it on the counter and starts backing out. "Then I will tell my parents that I did a good job, and thank you. And he just like walks out the door. And Darian just kind of like blows out his beard. "Oi. Right. Well, next one, please. Come on in." He's like looking at Ty. And there's a pause. And then the light from the outside of the door is blocked as a massive frame bends and walks through the door as a what must be over 10-foot tall elf with short blonde hair and large pointy ears walks in and says, "Good day. I am here to apply for the position of a bartender."
Do you have any experience with alcohol?
"Indeed I do." And he will walk up and sit on the floor cross-legged, as he probably wouldn't even fit in one of the chairs. And he goes, "I have excellent references and quite a good deal of experience with bartending. I know all the alcohols and several of the types of drinks to make. But more importantly than that, what you need is not someone that can pour alcohol. You need someone who can entertain your patrons with good conversation. That is what I am very skilled at."
Also, you can tell Squee and I both don't really understand alcohol because we keep just saying the alcohol.
None of us know what alcohol is. I am very good with orange cream rum. And he sits cross-legged, very upright, and he takes out a book, and he takes out small spectacles and puts them on the tip of his nose and opens up the book and looks down and says, "I have recipes and skill at making over 36 different types of beverages. Though I understand that most of these wouldn't be used in an establishment such as yours, it is handy to have the skill if needed. In addition to that, I am excellent at bookkeeping." And he closes the book. "Can provide my services as a bouncer if and when required, though usually my sheer mass is more than enough to dissuade the odd drunken brawler."
Is there anything we would have to do to make accommodations for you?
He considers for a moment. "I am typically fairly self-sufficient. As you can see, my girth as an elf makes it difficult to fit into your furniture, but I have no intention of actually using it. And as such, I would not suggest using me as a server, as getting around the tables might be difficult unless you don't mind them being bumped around. But as I've already seen, your bar is more than adequate for me to sit behind and serve drinks from."
Ty leans over to Darian and goes, "I like him."
"Aye, so do I. What exactly did you say your name was, sir?" "Oh, yes, my apologies. My name is Ston."
Done.
Ston.
Stone. Okay, that makes more sense.
S-T-O-N, with an accent above the O.
Got it.
And he'll take the spectacles off and put them back in his pocket. And I forgot to mention, he is immaculately dressed. He has...
Oh, he sounds immaculately dressed.
Yes. He has not what you would call rich clothes, but very well-tailored coat and shirt and trousers that tuck into leather boots that look to be shined, and there's not a speck of dirt on him.
Also, I'm sorry, Squee, that when I heard Dun, I'm like, yeah, Squee would name a character Dun.
No, stun. But yes.
Yep, okay.
He nods. I am available to start immediately whenever you need. I would also request, if possible, room and board. However, given, again, my considerable size and girth, I would be more than happy to stay in the cellar or the storeroom. It is comfortable enough for me.
I mean, that's not Ty's decision.
Darian would be like, "Oh yes, of course it is." Absolutely. Consider yourself hired, lad. And Ston nods his head and stands up and goes, "Thank you, most gracious. If you don't mind, I'll return this evening with my meager belongings and set up shop wherever you need me." Oh yes, pay. We didn't talk about lad. And he nods. Oh. Right, yes, pay. What is it you would think would be reasonable? And, like, Darian looks at Ty.
Ty looks at Darian.
And Darian's like, the going rate is about 5 silver a week. Ah, yes, that is more than enough, thank you. And then he turns and squeezes his way out of the door.
Okay, let me remember what I say. Ty the freeloader looks at Darian.
Right. And Darian kind of looks and goes, "Oi, very odd, that one. Never seen an elf that size."
It will result in people talking about the inn.
Aye, that be true. Certainly would generate conversation. And well spoken, that one. Silver tongue on him.
Please help.
You've been very quiet. You've been very quiet.
I'm just, as someone who happens to have orc blood and is used to, I guess, elves of unusual size, I would suppose. She rolled to see if that might be the case.
By all
it's your
means,
brother!
Oh god, no.
Sure, what are you rolling exactly? Like a knowledge check, or?
I guess it would be a perception to see if she can, like, spot any, like, tusks or, like, discoloration.
Investigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
13.
Okay. I mean, he's a very oddly shaped elf. He's broader at the shoulders than he is at the hips, which is, again, odd for gangly elves. But he definitely looks like an elf. There's nothing unusual about him other than his size.
She just, like, makes a mental note to make sure that her mother never comes back to this tavern ever again. Ever.
Oh my god, an elf that I can't break! Oh, she left town too early.
That jug is way half full.
Mama bait, oh no.
Oh man.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
Alright, congratulations, you hired yourself a barkeep.
Yay,
now we just need an
bouncer.
actual waitress. Or waiter. Person.
Well, actually, no, you don't, because he'll be the barkeep, and Darian will be the attendant, the waiter. Mm-hmm.
Isn't there one more interview? Were there 3?
Oh, right, I forgot about that part. So let me back up just a little bit. After Winston,
No, not that character, Squee.
Sorry, I should not have chosen a name so similar. That's what I should not have done. Once Ston starts to back out, he goes, "Oh, by the way, the last employee decided that the job was not worth it. I am sorry, but someone with those kind of professional ethics probably wasn't worth hiring anyway.
It's a pylon.
I really should change his name so they're not so similar. I'm never going to get those not confused. It's like when I tried to name my fairy Mia.
Sure did that.
You know what? I'm actually going to do that because otherwise I really will confuse them. Mama Bait? Girth. Oh, that's brilliant.
mean.
I'll take it. No, I'll take it. I like it. Yeah, Girth. My name is Girth. I'll take that because honestly, I will never not confuse him with Winston if I actually just name him Ston.
Earthstone.
Girthston. Wait, Girthston. That works.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look at that, guys. The DM process in the works.
We witnessed it here on Ardenfell Winter's Can't.
My name is Girthston.
Okay. In character, Ty's gonna go, what do you mean?
To
Stun, because he's like, that guy left.
oh yeah, well, we were waiting outside for the first interviewee to finish, the young shy elf, and while we were waiting for it, I got into conversations with she was a nice young lady, but well, the more we got to talking, she didn't seem to really realize what the job would entail, that it would involve a lot of alcohol, and once she did find that out, she decided that for whatever reason, it wasn't really for her.
Okay.
Yeah, he seems genuine.
Yeah, Ty believes him. I'm not rolling insight. Ty would believe him.
Gotcha. And so he would leave. And well done. With that out of the way, would you guys like to go meet a merchant?
What if I said no?
Sure.
Well, I'll take those one at a time. Glass. You're more than welcome to say no.
No,
Criana?
I'm joking.
Criana, I hate you.
Yeah, I know that. Let me see this damn merchant, Squee.
Like,
Tell me something I don't know.
Oh man! So you all, at some point within the first few days, probably the next day actually, would make your way down to the docks. And as you make your way down to the docks, let me change something here. Because there's music for that somewhere.
Not this
Yeah.
one. It's like seagulls and things.
Right? But no, it's not this one. It's
More
this
seagulls.
one. More seagulls. You guys make your way down to the docks, and as you are traveling like past the buildings themselves, because you're not really sure what you're looking for, you were simply told that you would know when you saw. Towards the end, right around here. Oh, hang on, let me switch to the right layer. Right around here, in this little space here, you see a cart that's very brightly colored, and it has wheels, and it seems to be set up, and the side of it is folded out into a table, a countertop, and the top of it is opened up into like a little shaded area. And in the cart sits a strange creature. She has short, purple, curly hair, 2 antennas that pop out of it, large, dark eyes that don't really seem to have irises, and very lightly colored pink skin. And she is currently leaning on the counter outside of the cart, going, "Shovels! Shovels for sale! No, trinkets, bobbits, magical items for sale. If you're having trouble on the ship and you have fleas, we can take care of that too. Baboon's Shop of Wonders. Hello?" And she'll see you guys kind of approach, and she'll go, oh, hello, hi, do you need a shovel? We have lots of shovels, and magical items as well, and potions, and, well, I mean, pretty much anything you can think of we can probably have.
I think I understood about half of that.
Dolma just kind of squints and, half leans over to a shoe. You think that might be the merchant Lady Celine was talking about?
Honestly, I don't know. With her description, I thought it'd be a bit more fantastical.
Arthur's gonna go straight up to
the girl. Oh, go ahead.
Arthur's gonna go straight up to the thing, slam his hands on the table, and go, rock.
Rock. Right? That's an odd request.
Speak rock. Speak. Word.
Sending stone.
She like looks at Arthur. She's like, "Oh dear, oh," and then you say that, and she looks at you. Oh, that makes much more sense. A sending stone. You need a sending stone, of course. I think.
Yes.
You wouldn't happen to speak Elven, would you?
Oh, Elven. No, I speak Sylvan. I'm a Fae, so that's kind of my home language. And she'll say in Sylvan, does anyone here speak Sylvan?
Dolma does.
Son of a bitch.
She'll say in Sylvan, but I don't know anyone here that speaks it other than Baboom. It's very hard to find people that are familiar with the Fae.
In Sylvan back, Dolma will say, very fair, not many people tend to know it.
She nods.
Ty looks between the two of them and in Sylvan goes, "What are you guys talking about?"
You people.
And the girl looks at you and she goes, "Oh, two people. I have been looking around for years, and it's so hard to find people that speak the native tongue. Hi. Oh, where are my manners? I'm so sorry. Hi." And she actually jumps through the window and hops down. And you see that she's wearing a long dress with a corset underneath her, almost like what you would expect someone from Germany back in the 1700s to wear. You know what I mean? Like that kind of dress, Sound of Music style dress. And
That's not the 1700s, Squee.
That's not the 1700s at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. And she hops down and she goes, "Hi," and she switches back to common. "My name is Brunhilde. I am the assistant to the Great Baboom, who is currently inside. But it's a pleasure to meet you."
I don't speak Sylvan. What? Were you guys not speaking in common?
Full stop and slow turns to Ty, just kind of what?
She looks very confused. She did not realize she switched languages.
In Sylvan, she says, "Yes, you were."
What? What? She's just gonna look in the middle distance, what the fuck?
And Brunhilde just kind of looks from one to the other. "So, sending stones, right?"
We've been sent, I believe, by Lady Celine to pick up some sending stones, yes.
And she nods and she skips around and she dances. She goes, right. Well, magical items, Baboon would handle himself. So, right there. Wait right there, and I will grab him. Oh, he's going to be so happy. So pleasure to meet you. It's so hard to start new business in other places. And she runs back in the cart, and there's a jostle around, and then there's silence. And the silence stretches for a good minute.
Should we go?
Hello!
And then after about a minute, you see apparently approach from the back of the cart, despite the cart not seeming to be that large, a blue tiefling with red eyes and horns that curl up above his head, wearing fabulous purple robes. And he steps forward and goes, hello, my friends. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am, as Brunhilde's probably already told you, the great and magnificent Barboom, traveling merchant extraordinaire. And who might I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Mortals.
He nods. And very attractive and well-to-do mortals at that. Indeed, you must be the cream of the crop. You all look so diverse and fascinating. And he steps over to the window and leans over and goes, what is your name, my friend?
Who's he talking to? Is he talking to Arthur?
Orit. To Orit, who was the one that talked to him, yeah.
What do I want my name to be today, I wonder?
I do wonder, yes.
Just call me Orit.
And he nods. Orit, my fine giraffe friend. It's a pleasure to meet you. So well spoken and polite for your kind.
Just wait.
He thinks about that for a second, nods. Very well. Brunhilde told me you were interested in ascending stones, yes?
Yes.
We were informed by Lady we were informed by Lady Celine that you would have them.
Yes, that is the name I was just about to say. I was told by her to expect I believe the word she used was associates. Yes, those are free of charge. I have them for you. Did you by chance have any passcode? Passphrase?
Pardon?
Kai, next to your ear you hear, oh, shoot, we forgot to tell you. The passphrase is golden.
Who said that?
By your ear, you hear it.
Golden.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely right. Let me just
look over her shoulder real quick.
You hear, after you look over your shoulder, you hear a gasp and a but you see nothing.
Do I recognize the voice?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay.
Fucking Mika.
Okay. Perception.
Mika, stop petting that dog. It has enough mouth width to chomp you.
She was getting pretty suspicious of this particular guy, mainly because the transition seems a bit suspicious. She's gonna just check if there's any sort of disguise or something going on.
Absolutely. I love the way how Piff combines suspicious and fishy into suspicious. It's my new favorite word now.
Suspicious.
This man is suspicious. Go ahead and roll me an insight check. Oh no, sorry, you're trying to disguise, so roll me an investigation. Kai, yeah, the name, the voice sounded familiar and small.
She's kind of swats by her ear like there's a fly.
Okay, give me a second here.
What? She doesn't see anything there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. You swat nothing. Nothing happens. You just swat the air as if there's a fly there.
As she's swiping, she'll go, "Thank you."
You're welcome.
Kai will fully turn around and look around.
And
What are you doing?
this small pink fairy uninvisibles, or purple fairy uninvisibles, and balls her fists at her hips and goes,
How long have you been there?
Oh, ever since your interview?
Oh. Real? What? Kai, stares.
How did none of us see?
How have you been quiet this long?
It was really hard.
Yeah, and you failed so spectacularly just now.
She crosses her arms and looks away. I didn't fail. You needed the passcode.
I do appreciate that. Why are you following us?
Tiefling's listening into this entire conversation.
Yep.
Yeah.
She looks at Kai. Because you are, because I'm bored, and because Kip hired you as a secretary, and I want to make sure that you're not having any evil or mean intentions, and plus Lady Celine may have asked me to.
Kai has an unreadable expression on her face.
Roll me an insight check. All of you are welcome to.
Bah!
Oh, Kai.
Oh boy.
Her expression is unreadable because she has no idea what's going on.
Arthur, are you going to try one, or
Try a what?
insight check?
Insight.
Oh,
It's up to you if you'd want to.
yeah. Let's roll some dice. Let's fucking
Sure. Yeah.
There
Roll
it
the
is.
dice. Take a chance.
Okay. All right.
Glass and Dolma, the pause at the end makes you think that maybe that last part's not quite true. Arthur, your aunt would never do that. That's not her style.
Yeah. That doesn't sound like my auntie.
Why does it sound like your auntie? There's lots of things you don't know about her. You've never met her until like a few days ago.
Well, maybe not, but my parents were really close to her. They talk
Well,
about her all the
you-
time. What?
How do you know that?
How do I know what?
If he's seen his auntie in that amount of time.
Because I have been by Lady Celine's side since before he was born.
How do you know when I was born?
In fact, because I was there when you were born.
Mm.
She cups her hand over.
So if I ask Lady Celine and or Kip about this, they'll be able to answer why you've been following me about this job?
Absolutely. And then she sits down on your shoulder, but I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, really? I believe it is necessary. I feel
No,
like
it's-
this is an invasion of my privacy.
And she flies in front of your face. Okay, wait, no. Okay? No, I was curious and I was bored. And also, that I'm worried.
Can I make a sleight of hand check to try and catch her?
Yeah, by all means.
All right. 7.
You try, and she flies at him, and she goes, hey! Hands off, Buster!
Listen, is it because my interview didn't go well that you are worried? I was nervous. I did not expect the interview to happen at that point.
And as you say that, you hear a squeal from Brunhilde, who starts leaning out the window. And in Sylvan goes, a fairy! Oh, they're so cute! And you see her legs kicking out behind her like she's kicking them back and forth in excitement as she is balancing on her waist over the counter. And Mika looks directly at Kai and says, "No, it's nothing to do with that. Look." And she goes over to Kai's ear and whispers, "Things are very dangerous right now. If Xanathar actually gets a hand on you-know-what, then things can get really bad, and I want to help and make sure that doesn't happen."
You could have just said that.
Oh, I couldn't. Lady Celine would never let me go. She's worried about me. She thinks that ever since my brother betrayed everything. I mean,
Gimme. Come here.
Arthur's
Come
just
here.
like,
Mika is sliding around Kai away from Arthur.
I just want you to be on my shoulder for a while. Come here.
She gives an insight check, squints her eyes.
Arthur does not lie.
It's very true.
Yes.
She hesitates and then goes over and floats down to Arthur's shoulder. So, anyway, I'm simply here to make sure everything goes well.
He's got a big dumb grin on his on his face because he's got something on his shoulder.
But don't worry, just act like I'm not even here. And she disappears.
Okay.
So anyway, the stones.
Yeah, and like you also hear like a aww from Brunhilde, and Baboon goes, "Yes, of course. Very interesting party you have. The stones indeed." And he bends down and he picks up the stones and he goes and he has like a very nice leather bag and he starts reaching around and goes, "While you're here, you don't by chance need any shovels, do you? We happen to acquire quite a few for a good price, and we've had trouble unloading them for quite some time. Our last location suffered a bit from a plague, and shovels weren't exactly needed as much as we thought they might be."
I can't find any good grave robbers.
And,
I'll take a look.
"Ah, excellent. Very good." And he'll drop the bag of sending stones in your hand and like move over and start showing you a fine collection of fairly ordained shovels, ordained.
Ordained.
Holy shovels! Very,
Wow, cool.
fairly ordinary shovels. And as he does so, he goes, "If you don't mind me asking, I do not mean to pry, but Lady Celine, she is a big thing in this town, yes? And she spoke with me directly to give these sending stones to you. So this tells me that you are some people of note or importance, yes?"
No, that's not us.
I'm not sure if I'm asking you to roll a deception or a persuasion on that one, actually.
But she will immediately go, "Look, we've had a lot of people go through this same spiel. What would you like?"
Ah, yes. A lady who takes after my own heart. Well, I'm trying to start a business here, get a foothold, so it may speak, and I am finding that it is far more difficult than I thought. Is something about people not liking tieflings here. It's odd. It's very odd. But I'm sure you probably know all about it.
I studied in it.
Oh, excellent. And perhaps you can enlighten me. Did we do something? I mean, more than usual.
Well, depending on your circumstances, in a high likelihood, no. But you are a, reminder of something that has happened in the past.
I see. Yes, I am not very familiar with the history of this world. I am from another. But you see my problem. I am trying to get a foothold here, and I'm having a very, very difficult time doing so. So I was thinking to myself, perhaps a different form of advertising is what is needed. Perhaps not a personal face so much as word of mouth, one could say. I entered into an arrangement once that worked out rather well for me. It made me some very fine friends and one very lovely bird that I met. So I thought perhaps maybe I'd try this again. I am, as I've already introduced myself to you, Baboon the traveling merchant. But when I say traveling merchant, I mean merchant attaché. And he kind of walks out, and you see, for the first time when he's not in the cart, he is a fairly tall, almost 6 feet, tiefling with blue skin. You can kind of see under his robes. He's very athletic, and he carries himself very well. And he goes, adventurers such as yourself often find themselves in the difficult position of needing supplies and not having access to them when they need them the most. I.e., people of your nature and of your kind tend to find yourselves in dangerous situations, and I cannot count the number of times that I've had adventurers say they wish they had a healing potion when that bugbear had cut half of them off, and they didn't have one. And of course, when you're on an adventure in a dark dungeon, you can't go to the shop. So, I say to myself, ba-boom, what they need is a shop that comes to them. So, I consider myself a merchant attaché. I am a merchant that can come to you to bring you your greatest needs, your desires, your equipment, and even my services, if so requested. But this is a new idea, and it is, as I said before, having trouble gaining traction. So, perhaps a trade.
Go on.
I propose, in return for a discount on my goods, of which there are many, and trust me, this cart is deceiving. I have an entire storeroom of all kinds of items, and if I don't have it, I guarantee you I can probably get it. In your return, you extol my services to others. Talk me up. Let your associates know to shop at Baboon to get a good deal. Perhaps wear a scarf?
Is that a phrase? What does that mean?
No! And he motions out, and Brunhilde, flicks out a silken scarf that has, Baboon's face on it, and it says the Great Baboon.
Oh my god, I love this.
And she's doing, a ta-da motion.
Huh.
Of course, now that I think about it, perhaps not the one with the face. What about maybe one with Brunhilde's face? This is the face of an angel, yes, but a scarf that promotes the store. And Brunhilde starts, wearing it to model it. And she has it in such a way that it says the Great Baboon is clearly visible.
I see. I do have to ask, though. Why a scarf?
And Baboon nods. He crosses his arms and nods, sagely. He goes, yes. A lady of culture. Understandable. Very good question. You see, I considered a flag or a banner or even some sort of hat. But the thing is that a scarf shows a certain level of refinement. People who wear scarves are people that you can look to and say, that person's reliable. That person knows where to shop.
Huh. Alright.
What a beautiful response, actually. Okay. Yeah, so we have a deal, or maybe you need some time to think about it. I will always be here. In return, I can come to you. I have a thing here. Yes, right here. And he pulls out a small amulet. This device is and it looks just like a sending stone. Oh, well, I just gave you some, so you know exactly what they are. I don't have to describe it to you, but this one's a little different. And he holds it out, and it's like a sending stone that's surrounded by a metal little amulet. He goes, this is like a sending stone. It allows you to communicate with me, only once a day, though. And when you communicate with me, I can then use this to, travel to your location, whatever that may be, to bring you the goods that you need. Also, I have a list of skills, services, and spells and whatnot that I can make at your disposal, of course, for a price. And the beauty of it is that if you hire a wizard or some sort of mage or sorcerer to follow you around, you must pay them for everything, for food and lodging and all that nonsense. For me, you only pay for what you use. You only need a simple identify spell. You only pay for one.
I only have one question for you.
Of course, my sweet. Anything.
Do you have more of these?
The sending stones? Or the amulet are you referring to?
The amulet, yes.
Ah, well, I only had 2 made, and one of them I have already given to very good friends of mine, so this is my only one at the moment, which is kind of why I'm, how do you say, rolling the dice a bit.
So you need money to have more of these?
Less money, more that, well, and he kind of like leans against the cart. To be fair, these weren't created, these were found. I found them, and I have not found any since. I suppose a mage of sufficient level would be able to make them as well, but I am simply a humble warlock, and my skills are not in the creation of magic items.
How do you get more
leans
wares?
over. What's a level to like a mage?
Who'd she ask? Kai? Or
Yeah,
who'd he ask?
Whoever's next to him, so maybe Kai.
Sorry, what'd you say?
This guy was like, maybe a mage of sufficient level can make one. He's like, what's a level?
No. Kai will lean over. You know, like a level in a dungeon. You go down a level. Or
So
up a
how-
level.
Good save.
Deeper mages?
What did you say?
Like how deep a mage is?
Yes?
That doesn't make any sense.
That sounds like a problematic measurement.
It sounds dumb.
Yes, I would have to agree with that.
So, if you need time, perhaps you can take time and think about it. We'll be here.
I do have one more question. How do you get your wares?
I have many contacts across all the planes. I was not always a merchant. This is a new profession for me, but in my previous professions, I made many contacts with many people who would allow me to gain all sorts of items. It is not a certainty I'll have everything you need, but I have quite a selection, a store, and I have a personal warehouse, you might say, a private area that I store much more than you see in just the cart.
Doma?
Yes, Dolma.
Gonna roll an insight on him real quick.
Okay. What are you looking for?
She's dealt with shady ass people her whole life.
Mm-hmm. But what are you
And
looking
she's
for?
wondering, she's looking to see if this is essentially like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking fence or some shit like that.
Oh. I mean, he's being very honest. You can't see any deception in his words.
She's not looking for deception because technically everything that he said was vague as fuck.
Right.
It's more like...
I mean, is he acting like a fence acts? A little bit, because he's being very vague.
Yeah.
But that's a hard thing to pick up from an insight check. He's acting genuinely, but he is being very vague.
So then she will just upfrontly ask, so you don't deal in any stolen goods, I would assume.
That, I suppose, would depend on what your definition of stolen is. For example, if you come across a cave of goblins and you slaughter them all and you take their gold, is it stolen goods? Brunhilde's like behind him, shaking her head.
Well, I would say, depending on exactly what kind of goblins, yes.
I see. Perhaps the type that are a danger to others. Perhaps a better example is, I do sell items and buy and sell items that adventurers come across in their adventures. And much of the treasures that adventurers get tend to be loot from vanquished foes. I do not typically count that as stolen items. But I can tell you, if you're trying to sell me Lady Celine's jewels, I will most certainly turn them down.
Out of character, I don't have any more questions for this guy.
Gotcha. And anyone else?
Not questions per se, but Dolma would just kind of nod to herself, and then after a moment, she'll say, well, if you're looking for any further types of promotion, I have been known to make songs now and then.
He opens his eyes. Songs? That sounds wonderful. I've never had anyone write a song about me before. And then he hesitates and he goes, I don't know why I never thought of that. I should ask Shola. Yes, my lovely drow creature. I would very much enjoy a song. And he goes, does this mean that we have an arrangement? Brunhilde, please, the flyer. And Brunhilde will run out of the cart and hand whoever's closest, probably Dolma, a flyer that is a list of all of Baboon's services. It's a list of all like the spells he can do and the cost for each spell and things of that nature.
That has got to be a crowded fucking flyer.
It's pretty crowded. I will actually get you guys the flyer later. I have not moved it over from Fantasy Grounds, so
It's cool.
Or I'm sorry, I haven't recreated it. So I'll have to get that for you guys later if you choose to use it. But basically, the way he works is that you can hire his services and you pay a la carte. I.e., you can even have him go into a dungeon with you and he'll charge you for every Eldritch Blast he fires, but it's still cheaper than just hiring someone, unless you use tons. Well, let me put it this way. If you use enough that it's expensive, you probably needed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is definitely a warlock, and his services are spells that are typically found on a warlock's list. Except for healing. He has the ability to heal as well.
Huh. Neat.
Ty's gonna look at him and go, do you know Eric?
No, I'm sorry, my sweetie. I don't believe I've ever met an Eric.
Okay.
Dolma looks over at Ty. I mean, not every warlock knows another warlock.
But the answer might be yes.
It's not a bad question to ask. It tells me that perhaps this Eric is someone I'd like to meet. But unfortunately, I have only been here for about a week or so. And I don't mean here, obviously. I mean here. And he just, like, holds his hands out.
Right.
Wait, are we in a tent or are we in a tavern?
No, you're outside. You're outside on the sand. You're on the beach.
Okay. And a sassy joke, but it won't work, so.
And he goes, well, Obviously you have much to do and much to think about. I don't hold on to these for now. He holds on to, like, the amulet. If you decide that you'd like to enter in a contract with me, or a deal, it's not a contract per se. I'm not making you sign anything. It's more of a word between good people. I will have this waiting for you, or if you just need to come by and you find that you need a good shovel, you'll always find me in Brunhilde here.
Shu actually smiles and goes, "You know what? I'd like to write up, or at least speak of, a contract. I would gladly spread the word."
Oh. Well, that does my heart good. It makes it sing. I was fearful that I wouldn't be able to find anyone willing to. It is truly unfortunate the way that we are seen here. But perhaps you and I can change that, huh? And he puts an arm around Ashu's shoulders. Tieflings selling good goods to good people. What do you think?
She opens and closes her mouth, one step at a time.
Yes, I am sorry, I am a dreamer. Brunhilde says it's my best feature. And he takes his arm out from under your shoulders and we don't have to roleplay it, but you can write up a form of agreement, which is you would get basically access to the amulet. The way it works is you have the amulet. It can be used once a day, and it acts like a sending stone. You can contact him, request any items that are on his list that I will get for you guys by next week. As well as any items that aren't, you can request, and he can try and get it for you. And within about 10 or 15 minutes, within a short rest, basically, he can appear at your location and deliver you the goods. He can also be made available for services as well. It can be done once a day. So,
She would put down one thing. She would go, "I am looking to actually make some pretty good deals with this. And I think you would like that as well. I think you would like your name and your shop to be as big as possible."
Absolutely, it is my goal. My dream, you might say.
Would you mind if we were the door to your shop?
He kind of looks at you and he goes, perhaps you could expand a little bit on what you mean by door.
I was asking about the sending stones because I thought it would be something that very rich people would be interested in actually obtaining and getting your specialty service. But you don't have more. But the idea doesn't need to stop there. If we still have a large buyer or someone in need of such of your service, they could, theoretically, be called through us to have you come to them.
Ah, very smart. I like it. Yes, I am in a constant search for someone who can create more items like that. For, as you say, it is difficult to be a merchant attaché if I can only travel to two people at once. Indeed, though. Yes, I like this idea. Absolutely. So, you act as a doorway. People who need my services can barter through you to use the amulet to contact me. In return, I get my name out there and my goods to more people. I would say this would be an excellent deal. And in fact, in a way to encourage good trust, if you were to make such a sale, I would even say that 5% would go to you.
Ashu grins. Would you mind a 5% and, maybe whatever we can get out for a, finder's fee? Let's just say maybe like a gold or two for the person to actually get the something. The cost of bringing the shop to them.
I see.
A convenience fee.
Absolutely, and I would leave that to your best discretion as long as you don't make our customers feel that we are taking advantage of them. Baboon is nothing if not honest.
I will see to it personally.
I knew I was going to like you. Unfortunately, my heart is taken by a very particular owl, but if it were not for her, I'm sure I would fall for you.
She like smile devolves into like a weird like out there like what did I get myself into?
And he will hand you the amulet and the flyer, of course, that has his services and goods. And Brunhilde will run to each of you in turn and give you a hug and a kiss on your cheek. And he goes, to a very long and fruitful relationship, and may your journeys always bear you fortune.
Fantastic.
By the way, my name is a shoe.
Oh, and by the way, I'm not sure what I was thinking. You have a sending stone, a singular sending stone to be able to talk to Kip. I don't know.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
For all of us? Like,
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Sorry, it is a single sending stone. I don't know why I was thinking. Oh, I know why I was thinking of 5. Because there's another campaign I'm in where we're trying to get 5. My brain must have just crossed. You know what? I give up. Piff, DM it. I'm done.
The second dragon comes down.
Right after the first. Yeah, it's a singular sending stone. I say that is attached to Kip, but technically, sending stones can contact any other sending stones that you are aware of. So you can meet more people with their cell phone numbers.
But you can't wrong number them unless you already know the person.
You're thinking of one person and then you suddenly pop up like a different image of another person. Oh.
Or like you try and contact someone and it's like, oh, bro, I think she gave you the wrong number. She didn't want to talk to you again, bro. No, it doesn't work like that. But it's a singular sending stone to which you have Kip as a contact.
Okay.
Sweet.
With that, I think this would be a good place to end the session for tonight. Tomorrow we will pick up again, continuing our time skip. So have an idea of what you guys would like to do. We have about 3 weeks to go.
Tomorrow?
Not tomorrow.
Next week.
Oh,
not next week.
Not next
It's
week.
going to
No,
be in 2
I,
weeks.
I am moving to Denver next week, so we won't have a session.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry about that, guys, but I have to move, and it's gonna be moving literally Thursday night. So Thursday night, Friday morning, because the truck probably drives at like 10 miles an hour. So not next Thursday, but Thursday after next. We'll pick up from there.
All right.
See you
Bye,
guys
everyone.
next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Night.
Bye.